Hello everyone, welcome back. Today the video is gonna be about building your collection and some things to consider when you're doing it. Now before I start, I want to mention that this video was inspired by one of Ghost Flipping's videos. He was talking about whether you should care about how many bellies you have. I'll link the video in my description. Great video, you should check it out. Ghost stuff is great. Yeah. Okay, let's get to my collection. So this is not all the bellies I have, right? These are just my favorites for flipping. So these are arranged from left to right, my least and most favorite. But that doesn't mean I dislike the Corvus. The Corvus is just my least favorite out of all these. But you shouldn't think of it as my most hated or my least favorite. You should just think of it as my fifth most favorite. But yeah, these are my favorite bellies that I own so far. Who knows? Something else will probably overtake them in the future, but as it stands right now, these are my favorite. And I want to explain why. And why, I bought these bellies in specific. So, let's talk about it. When I buy a Balisong, there are a few things I consider. And one of them is how they fit into my collection. So, when I buy a Balisong, right, I always check online how it flips and how it sounds. Mainly how it flips. And that is because I want to make sure my collection is diverse. In my opinion, the collection size doesn't matter as much as the diversity, because as long as you have Balisongs that flip differently, you're always going to be having fun experimenting different ones. And that is why I got these bellies. So, for example, the Corvus here I think fends basically the best out of all these, other than maybe the Sasori, and that is why I got it. When I was online watching videos, I saw that a lot of people said the Corvus fan amazingly. And I was like, that would fit really well into my collection. Because I don't exactly have anything that fans, I guess, spectacularly. Because up to that point, my most expensive Balisong was the Wing. Which, by all means, fans pretty good. But I can see that it's not that flat, and it's a bit shaky. So I decided, you know what, Corvus looks cool. Maybe I'll get it. And even though I don't prefer the Corvus over my Wing, I still think the Corvus is great. And I still love it, and I flip it almost every day. And let's move on to the second one, the Matco clone. So, obviously, it's a clone. Let's gonna get it out of the way. I'm gonna be making a video on clones in the future, but yeah, for now, Matco clone. And my air conditioner is dripping. If you hear dripping sounds, I'm sorry. But why did I pick up the Matco? One simple reason. The sound. I've seen so many videos about the Matco where it rang like hell. And I was like, that is so sick. I want one. So I got it. Simple as that. I got it because I like the sound. And because it's different from the rest of my collection. The rest of my collection is mostly really clacky, right? And I don't really have anything that rings other than, say, the Canyon, but it's not exactly a particularly loud ring, right? So I got a Matco. Really cool. And next, let's move on to my second belly ever. This is the Novalis Wing. It's still one of my favorite bellies to this day, and that is for quite a few reasons. Now, within my collection, I would say the Wing is probably the most standard thing I have, other than, say, my Kraken clone, but I don't really flip the Kraken anymore because it's kind of boring, and I don't think it's as good as my Wing. But yeah, so the Wing fit into my collection in a pretty simple way, just that it is the second belly I own, and it was really unique compared to what I had at the time, which was a Volp. So the Volp, I think, was a pretty cool Balisong, right? So the color I got was red and black, and I got the Wing in blue, because it contrasts well with the Volp. Simple as that. I got a Wing because, objectively, I think it is better than a Volp in basically any way, so the specs, the flipping, everything, right? And I got it because the way it looks contrasts really well with my Volp. So yeah, another thing to consider when you're building a collection is looks. Next, my machine-wise Sasori. So this is an interesting one because this fit in my collection in a really strange way. when I first got it, I was like, oh wow, this thing's pretty cool. And not much else. Because the accessory didn't really fill any niches here. So when I first got this accessory, I would say it is not even in my top 5. Instead of what it is right now, I would say the wing will be here, the Mac will be here, the covers will be here, and here will be the, what's it called? The canyon. But now that I got my zippy inserts, this accessory does flip, I would say substantially better than when I just first got it, because it carries momentum much better now. But why did I get this accessory in the first place? Again, simple reason. It is American made. Almost everything I had to that point, other than the Superfly, was Chinese made. Which is not a bad thing, it's just I've heard great things about Machine Wise and I wanted to support them, so I got this accessory. And I knew full well that there is a chance that I just don't like this accessory, which was basically what happened, but you know, having a Machine Wise product was just a novelty for me, and I'm really happy to get it. So, yeah, maybe a dumb reason to get a Belly, but whatever, right? It was diverse for a reason in my collection. It provided variety in some way, and that is why I got it. And now on to my favorite, the Superfly. So why did I get a Superfly? Well, obviously like all the other ones, it had to stand out from my collection in some way. And that way was, well, there's a few ways. Firstly, sandwich. Up until that point, I had no sandwich bellies at all, other than a red clone, which I didn't like flipping because it pinched me a lot. So having a good sandwich belly was pretty appealing to me, because I didn't have one yet. Secondly, it is titanium, which is also something that I didn't have at that point, except for my Tsunami clone, which I didn't like because it is kind of small. But yeah, so those are two really big things that I was considering when I was getting it. And lastly, the reason I got the Superfly to sit at the top of my collection, the reason I bought it is because it was on an insane sale. It was $100 off. Why would I not get it? It would be the blunder of my life if I just like not get it and it never goes on sale again. I would like beat myself up every day for it. So yeah, that's why I got a Superfly. It is quite unique compared to the rest of my collection. And it was at a price that was unbeatable in the non-Chinese made market. So yeah. When you are building your own collection, you don't have to listen to anything I say, right? But I think as a general guideline, making a collection as diverse as possible would be pretty great. Because that means you'll have more diverse flipping experiences. Even if it's something that you don't find particularly appealing in the end, such as this piece of shit. This is a glow-in-the-dark Balisong from Taobao, and it glows pretty bright at night, which is pretty cool. But it is horrible. It is so bad. But I am happy having it in my collection because it is unique. Same goes for all of my other bellies, even those that are not here. So my cheese is not here because these just kind of flip better than a cheese in my opinion. But I still love having the cheese because it looks so cool. And my Orion is not here either because, again, I think these just beat out the Orion in terms of flipping and purely flipping. But I still like my Orion because, once again, it's unique. It's Cerakoted, which I don't have in any of my other Balisongs. So yeah, when you buy a Balisong, just make sure it is unique in some way to you and you think that it is different enough from the rest of the collection to feel worth it, even if it ends up not flipping too well. So yeah, I think that's about it for now. Have fun building your Balisong collections. Don't spend too much money. God knows that I already have, even though my collection isn't exactly huge compared to some other people. But yeah, go out, buy whatever Balisongs you like, whatever you think fits in your collection best, for whatever reason you have. It can be stupid, it can be smart, doesn't really matter, that's just opinions. And yeah, that's about it. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.